Welcome back to Operation 8th Air Force. It's now turn 9 and it is July of 1940 and it is an ungodly hour here this morning, but here we are. So this will be the turn for the Germans and the Spanish. A few developments that have happened in the last few turns. After the Italian action in the Mediterranean, the Commonwealth has declared war on Italy, and as a result, Italy is now firmly in the Axis camp. So the Germans now and the Italians are at war with the Commonwealth. Anyway, let's get to tech. Germany has 4 tech dice to roll for. We're going to go for mechs out of 7, factories out of 7, subs out of 8, long range out of 8, and we'll see how we go. We've been pretty average on the old tech this game. We're about less than 50%. I think we're about 14 from 31, so it's not fantastic, but see how we go this time. So we had green, a black, dark blue, and a light blue. Oh God. Okay, so we've got a 4, a 2, a 1, and a 4. So definitely not Lucky Randall. Definitely not. That's a couple of just gutter balls I've had with Germany. 4 dice and just nothing. It sucks, but anyway. All right. Germany has 61 in the bank. We got rated up here for 2. Last turn convoyed. We have 61 in the bank. So I'm just going to explain this purchase here because we're going to create the Deutsche Afrika Korps. So to do that, that's going to cost me 5 to actually move these units, but I've got to take them off the board. So I'm just going to let you know where I've taken them off. So that corresponds. So I did this because I didn't want to accidentally screw this up on video. So we've taken 2 infantry out of East Germany, 1 infantry from Berlin, so that's the 3 infantry. The line armors come from Warsaw. A medium armor from Normandy, a self-propelled from Warsaw, the motorized from Königsberg, and 1 artillery has been taken from the Netherlands. So that's going to cost us 5 to deploy the DAC. So this is I'm just showing you what I've taken off and replacing over here. So that's a cost of 5. We're also going to be recalling the Condor Legion. So they've packed up these Messerschmitts, they've put them in a box, and they've thrown them on the train out of Madrid. They're going to travel via occupied France, occupied Belgium, and that will, at the end of the turn, will turn up in West Germany. We're going to purchase 2 fighters for 20. We've got a transport for 7. We've got that free blue division. So let's just talk about so 5 for that. We've got a total of 5 infantry costing 15. So that's 20, 30, 40, 47. We're going to lend lease a fleet submarine to the Italians for 6. So that's 53. And then another 8 for these 4 militia will get us to 61. And we've got a fortification for the Festung Europa if we're successful. And then, yeah, we've got that blue division dude to place as well. So that's 61. That's everything. So that's my purchases. All right, let's get into combat. See if I can get lucky with combat. All right, so we've got a couple. So let's start with the easy stuff first. Okay. So we've got this fleet submarine in A48. So A48, the German fleet submarine. And he's going to come up 1, 2, 3 into 35 in a raid in there. At the same time, this fleet submarine from A27 is going to pop back 1 and raid into there. All right, over here, in Yugoslavia, if I knock everything over, we're going to have, what have I got? 4 cavalry and 1 infantry are going to come over from Eastern Yugoslavia. At the same time, 1 fighter from Romania is going to leave from an airbase in Romania, join that battle, and land in northern Italy. So he'll land in northern Italy. 1 fighter from Bavaria will fly from Bavaria from an airbase. So let's get that over there. From Bavaria, 1, 2, 3, and we'll land in central Romania. So now there's 2 fighters in that battle. The tactical from Bavaria will also come out of the airbase 1, 2, 3, with remaining 2, 4, and 5, and land in North Italy. So we've got, so far we've got that fighter from the airbase in Romania landing in North Italy. We've got the fighter in Bavaria landing in Romania. So 1 will be in Romania, 1 will be and these 2 will be in North Italy. Essentially, a fighter and a tactical will end up in North Italy, and 1 fighter will end up back in Romania. All right, so in West Germany, over here, we'll have 2 infantry come out of West Germany into Denmark. The the strategic bomber will drop 1 airborne and then land back into West Germany. The fleet, with the exception of this fleet submarine, will come out, attack, not that one, this fleet, the German fleet, will come out, attack this coastal, and then just go back into port. I think the rest is non-combat. I think we're pretty good. There's no Vichy. There's non-combat for Vichy, but I'll sort that out later. There's no combat in Spain, obviously. All right, I'm pretty comfortable that's it. All right, let's get to the rating first. So we've got 2 fleet submarines, and really wanted to hit radar on this turn, and it's a real bummer that we didn't, because the British have radar, which effectively just makes our fleet submarines a +1, which kind of stinks. So the German submarine will be the black dice, the blue-red will be the British. So let's go in A35 for the first one. So +1, so 5 to 3 is 2 damage. So 2, and we've got 1 more in there. So if we can get, we've sunk a total of 3 IVP so far, so not great. And here's the last one. Yeah, that's not going to be anything, so that's going to be 4 to 6. So we absolutely strike out there. Lucky Randall strikes again. Oh man, I just can't believe the tech dice. It just stinks. All right, let's go into Denmark here and do this battle. Oh, shit. I did. I'm going to show you where this is written down. But I did have the 2 fighters going into that battle in Denmark. Where is it? Yeah, 2 fighters from West Germany, Denmark, land in West Germany. I'm hoping you're okay with that. So there is the 2 fighters, if you can see that, Denmark. So luckily that was written down before I did anything wacky there. Okay. All right, so it's just the lone militia. It's kind of a bit of a nothing battle, but still important. All right, let's just start with the two fighters at 6 and see if we can get it done. There's no first strike, so yeah, there's one hit there at a 6. So he's a militia in return. Is a 5. So we take Denmark. It's worth 1. So we go up 1 to 47. We got a German Rundle. This is our organised plan this morning. Fighters will land back into West Germany. So we take Denmark with 2 infantry and an airborne. Okay. Feels excessive. All right, let's do the naval combat. The fleet that's going to be up against this coast. So we've got a battleship, battle cruiser, 2 destroyers, TBD and a coastal up against that coastal. So let's just roll out the battleship first. So the battleship on an 8. Ooh, that's cocked. Looks like a 2, but let's roll it again. Of course, it's a 10. All right, let's try for the battle cruiser at a 7. That's a 2, so that hits. All right, the coastal defense ship in return is at a 4. Oh, they defended at 6. Oh, okay. All right, yeah, they attack at a 4. I knew they'd been changed. Of course, he gets a 1, so we'll lose the TBD. How perfect. It's lucky Randall. I tell you what, this game is a test of your patience sometimes. All right, so yeah, the fleet just goes back in port in West Germany. So essentially all that's happened is we've removed the TBD and the German TBD has been sunk and the Danish coastal defense ship has been sunk after sinking my TBD. All right, let's go on with the battle now in Yugoslavia. So Yugoslavia has 4 cavalry, 2 fighters, a tactical, 1 infantry up against 1 infantry and 1 militia. So let's go ahead with the 2 fighters first, see if we can get the job done. So 2 out of 6. 1 hit, so he'll lose his militia. The tactical at a 7. He gets his hit. So that's the 2 units done in there. Oh no, there is a cavalry. I'm going to roll that out. So 2 hits already. So we've got 4 cavalry at a 2. And we get our remaining hit there with a 1. So we get all 3 hits. That's all we need. So coming back will be the cavalry and the militia at 2s. Nothing. And then his infantry at, his infantry at a 4. Misses. Okay, so no casualties there. So we take Eastern Yugoslavia with no casualties, which is nice for once. We did note their Navy slipped away and joined the British fleet, but we'll track that TBD down, I'm sure. All right, so Germany goes up 1 to 48, and the Brits go down to 26. And I think we're now into non-combat. So let's land these planes first. So I said, let me just check what I've written down. 1 fighter's going to land back in Romania, and the other 2 will land back in northern Italy. All right, so that's the fighter and tactical land in northern Italy. We've already landed the other 2 fighters in Denmark. They've landed in West Germany. So let's get to non-combat. So 1 Marine from the Netherlands will move over to, knocking over Russia's stuff. That's great. I think that was in Kursk. I'm going to check that later. one Marine will come from the Netherlands into West Germany, and just go down to the card there. So that'll be 2 Marines in West Germany. 1 air transport and 1 airborne will travel from, so 1 air transport and an airborne in Bavaria will fly to northern Italy. So that air transport, airborne's in northern Italy. One mountain infantry will rail from, where is he? One mountain infantry will rail to southern Italy. So we've got this mountain infantry in, so from Bavaria, 1 mountain infantry rails all the way to southern Italy. Probably didn't, yeah, you can see that. 2 medium armor. Yep, so 2 medium armor, 1 medium armor and 1 mechanized will travel to Belgium. So they'll come from Normandy, 1 medium armor, 1 mechanized travels to Belgium. Moves 2. So 1 into Picardy, 2 into Belgium. Made a meal out of that, didn't I? 1 artillery from the Netherlands slides over into West Germany. The submarine that is in A3 moves to A18. So this fleet's from A3, 1, 2 will just move up to A18, and that fleet submarine is just going to hang out over there. Okay, from the submarine base in A11, the fleet submarine that was sitting in here in A11 is going to come out for 1 into 6, and 1 into A6, 2 into A4. Where was I? No, from A11, so 1 into A6, 2 into A4, 3 into, what's that one there? A3, 4 into A15. And so that fleet submarine from A11 travels to A15 using the submarine base. Okay. So 1 airborne, put rail markers out this time so I don't overuse them. 1 airborne is going to rail from Normandy to West Germany. Join that card. Where am I? Okay, they're in Eastern Yugoslavia. Okay, so 1 infantry from Hungary is going to rail to Rome. 1 infantry from Hungary is going to step over into Western Yugoslavia. Use that rail unit, I'm pretty sure. Or did I? Why have I put that there? Was that guy? That guy was there. No, I'm just going to move him to Western Yugoslavia. I don't think I've used this rail marker yet. I've used that one. And sorry about this. Oh yeah. 1 infantry from, if I haven't used this last rail unit, 1 infantry from Slovakia is going to rail to Western Yugoslavia. So I think that's all my rail units used up. All right, the Spanish ships, I'm just going to move them at this point. So the heavy cruiser and the transport are going to move over 1-2 into A11. So they're just going to be at sea. Obviously, they can't be at port. No allied port just yet. Move that. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's get to place units. And then we'll do we're going to be aligning Bulgaria as well. So in the place units phase, we're just going to align Bulgaria. So we go up another $1 for them to 49. That's our base. So let's get to place units. So the Condor Legion, as I said earlier, is going to travel from Madrid via rail through Belgium into West Germany. I'm going to join that card. The transport will be placed in port in West Germany. So it's now 2 transports there. Okay, the 1 free Spanish volunteers will go to Berlin. 1 infantry, 1 militia will go into Paris. So 1 infantry, 1 militia will go into Paris. 2 fighters will go to West Germany, bringing West Germany up to 5 fighters now. 5 fighters, 1 strat bomber, 1 seaplane. That's the Luftwaffe there at the moment. Okay, so we're going to have 1 infantry and into Romania. We're going to back, actually, whilst I'm here, I'm just going to back this 1 infantry up into Romania as well. 1 infantry into Warsaw. And 1 infantry into East Germany, and 1 into West Germany. Then we got our militia, the remaining militia, so done. Okay, so 1 into Normandy. 1 into Western Yugoslavia. 1 into East Germany. I think that is everything. We're going to deliver our Lend-Lease submarine to the Italians, and that's going to go into M3. All right, the Deutsche Afrika Korps is going to be traveling from Germany, so it just needs a supply path to an Italian port. So we're just going to be landing in Tobruk because we can travel via M6, M7, M8 into Tobruk from anywhere in Italy or even Germany, so from Eastern Yugoslavia. So we're going to place those units on the card in Tobruk, which will be 3 Deutsche Afrika Korps infantry, 1 light armor, 1 medium armor, 1 self-propelled, 1 artillery, 1 motorized. So it's a total of 8 units. They're on the card there in Tobruk. And they've been delivered there. And our free fortification will go down in West Germany. So we're just going to place that there. All right, and are we happy with that? Yep, I think we're good. All right, let's do a disposition. Okay. All right, actually, no, before we do that, let's do our recruitment roles. So we have the Vichy recruiting at a 2. Nothing, that's a 9. And then the Spanish at a 6. God damn it, 8. So nothing there. There's no recruitment this turn, no one wants to join. Everyone's seeing the writing on the wall and they don't want any part of this war. It's just, I've obviously met some of my German scientists that can't seem to do basic math. All right, let's do the quick well, actually, we'll do the income first. So we're sitting at 59. We get bonuses for Sweden and Romania for 6. So that takes us to 49, 6, 55. So 55 next turn for the Germans. We don't really like this build-up that we're seeing with the Free French. That's starting to concern us. So we'll collect 55 for the Germans. The Free French will collect 6. Not Free French. The Vichy French will collect 6. So 55 plus 6. And then if we can keep the Russians on side, we'll collect another 5 for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Who knows? We'll see. See what happens on their turn. All right, let's do a quick disposition. All right. So in port in West Germany, there's battleship, battle cruiser, 2 destroyers, and a fleet submarine, along with 2 transports now in port in West Germany. On the western side, I guess you would say. In West Germany itself, there is a strategic bomber. There is a total of 5 fighters. We have 1 airborne, 1 artillery, 2 Marines, 1 infantry, and a fortification. Denmark has 2 infantry and an airborne. East Germany, 1 infantry, 1 militia. In Warsaw, there is now 6, 7, 8 infantry, 2 medium armor, actually 9 infantry because we added 1, 9 infantry, 2 medium armor, 1 cavalry. Berlin has an infantry, Hungary has a militia. Central Romania has 6 infantry, 1 cavalry, 1 motorized, 1 fighter. Bulgaria, 1 cavalry, 2 infantry. Eastern Yugoslavia, 1 infantry and 4 cavalry. In Western Yugoslavia, there is 2 infantry and a militia. German stuff in northern Italy will be 1 fighter, 1 tactical, 1 airborne, and 1 air transport. In Rome, there's 1 German infantry. Southern Italy, 1 mountain German infantry. Vichy has 3 infantry, fighter, and artillery. Aquitaine, 1 militia. Normandy, 1 militia, 1 mechanized. Picardy, 1 militia. Alsace-Lorraine, 1 militia. Paris, 2 infantry, 2 militia, 3 medium armor, 2 mechanized. Out at sea, A-15 fleet submarine, A-18 fleet submarine. Underperforming fleet submarines in A-35. The Reichsmarshal is going to hear about this. 2 fleet submarines. Vichy, Yeah, we're going to non-combat him. So he's an A46. We're going to bring him up 1 into... Yeah, 2 into M2. 2 into M2. So that Vichy sub is going from 46 to M2 non-combat. All right, in Tobruk, there is 3 Deutsche Afrika Korps infantry, 1 self-propelled, 1 light armor, 1 medium armor, 1 motorized, 1 artillery. That's the German stuff. And hopefully that captures everything. Hopefully there was no errors in anything. And I'll turn it over now to Panzer J for Russia. Thanks for watching.